My beloved child, do not ignore the stirring within your chest right now. That heaviness you feel, that tightness you cannot name, it is not confusion. It is a signal, a divine frequency that your soul has been waiting to recognize. I am speaking to you not through words, but through the weight of this very moment. Heaven has turned its face toward you. There is a great shaking about to begin. And no, this is not for everyone. This is not a message for those who scroll past the truth. This is only for the one whose spirit has been silently crying out for answers in the night. Listen now. Archangel Michael says, the atmosphere around you has shifted. You've been sensing it in ways you couldn't explain. The way people change around you, the sudden resistance, the strange tension. This is not coincidence. This is not a phase. This is preparation. Your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven. There has been a divine motion set in place concerning your destiny. But the enemy has heard it too. The resistance you face is not random. It is intentional. Hell knows something is coming to you, something that cannot be stopped. Unless you do nothing, unless you ignore this moment, and you will not. This is your confirmation. That dream that keeps repeating, that number that keeps appearing, that unease that settles every time you get close to peace. It is heaven reminding you that you are standing at the edge of a divine instruction, a command whispered through the winds of spirit. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken. And now is the time. You have been chosen for such a time as this. But chosen does not mean comfortable. Chosen does not mean easy. Chosen means tested. And the test is underway. Archangel Michael says, you are not being punished. You are being positioned. The silence you've walked through, the betrayal that cut deeper than words, the losses that felt like death, all of them were tools. Tools in the hands of heaven to carve out the strength in you that you didn't know you had. Strength you would never have reached in comfort. Strength that will be required for what comes next. Hear me now, child of promise. This message is not information. It is intervention, a divine interruption of your wandering. There are voices that have whispered to you lately. Not all of them are yours. Some come to confuse. Some come to delay. Some come disguised as clarity, but were forged in deception. Do not answer every voice. Do not chase every sign. If you're listening to this right now, it's because one voice has pierced through the noise, the voice of divine purpose, the voice of the one who called you before you were formed. I am speaking now through the beat of your heart and the breath you draw unconsciously. Your spirit has waited for this moment. Beloved one, this isn't a coincidence. The pain, the shift, the sudden closed doors, they are not rejections. They are redirections. There is a reason you've been feeling the pull away from people who used to feel safe. A reason the things that once satisfied now feel empty. Heaven is setting you apart, not to isolate you, but to insulate you. You are being prepared in private for something that will be revealed in public. But revelation requires separation. And this is the hour of separation. Archangel Michael says, someone close to you has already sensed your shift, but they do not celebrate it. They do not bless it. They speak in smiles, but plot in silence. Heaven has been watching. Every false connection is being revealed. Every hidden motive is surfacing. The masks are falling because the veil is lifting. You are about to see who was truly with you and who was simply near you. And yes, it will hurt, but do not resist the revealing. Pain is a sign of purification, and what is pure must be made visible. There are divine instructions being released. Now subtle, soft, but powerful. If you ignore them, you will delay what was meant to be immediate. But if you obey, doors that were once closed without explanation will open without effort. You do not need to strive, child. You need only to listen. This is not the hour to beg. It is the hour to believe. This message is not for the strong in appearance, but for the weary in spirit, for the one who has smiled through heartbreak, for the one who has kept walking, though their feet bled in silence, for the one who still worships while wondering when the breakthrough will come. This is for you. Your pain was not missed. Your tears were not wasted. Heaven has kept a record. And now the time has come to redeem every moment. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. The detours were divine. The delays were strategic. And the disappointment was a disguise. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. You were not abandoned. You were protected. Archangel Michael says, there is a scroll in heaven with your name on it, and the ink has not faded. The promises written concerning you are not void, but you must choose to align. Heaven does not force. Heaven invites. And this is your invitation, to awaken, to rise, to prepare, not with fear, but with faith, not with anxiety, but with authority. A shift is coming, but it won't be external first. It will begin inside, in your thinking, in your focus, in your choices, in the whispers you choose to obey, in the people you choose to walk with or walk away from. Heaven will not bless what you refuse to release. Some doors must close before new ones can open. Some names must leave your mouth before new ones enter your life. Be bold. Be obedient. Be still if you must, but be faithful. Listen closely now. The next few days are crucial. There will be signs, specific, undeniable, unusual. Dreams that feel too vivid. Conversations that come as confirmation. Reversals that shock you. And opportunities that seem impossible. But do not be deceived. Not all that shines is divine. You will need discernment. You will need silence. You will need to recognize the difference between delay and divine timing, between fear and divine caution, between open doors and divine tests. Choose wisely. Archangel Michael says, you are not alone. The warfare you feel is not your imagination. The weariness is real, but so is your protection. So is your victory. So is your inheritance. Do not surrender now. You are closer than you think. You are being watched, not by men, but by heaven. And your next decision will unlock more than you can comprehend. Your obedience is your weapon. Your stillness is your strength. Your faith is your shield. Walk forward, child. Walk boldly, for the ground beneath your feet is being claimed by angels, and your path is being cleared with every step you take in faith. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. Beloved one, now that your spirit has heard the beginning, you must not turn away. This second breath carries the weight of what the enemy never wanted you to know. I speak not to your ears, but to the ache you carry in silence, the ache that presses hardest in the hours no one sees. You are not just passing through another hard season. You are in the midst of a divine extraction. Heaven is removing what cannot enter the next room of your destiny. And though it feels like loss, it is protection. Though it feels like silence, it is strategy. Archangel Michael says, you are walking through a hallway between two worlds. The door behind you has closed, but the one in front of you has not yet opened. That space between is sacred. That tension you feel is not failure. It is spiritual stretching. What you were carrying before can no longer sustain you. You are being refitted for greater things. And the battle has intensified not because you are weak, but because you are close. Close to something that was seen in heaven long before you knew its name. There have been whispers about you in the realm of spirit. Your name has stirred conversations among angels and enemies alike. And this is what you have felt: resistance. Without cause, warfare without clarity, delay without explanation. But heaven says, every pushback was proof. You are marked. Marked not just to survive, but to shift everything you touch. That is why the opposition has been so loud. That is why those closest to you have turned cold. Not because you failed, but because something holy in you makes darkness uncomfortable. Listen carefully, my child. You are not the only one watching. Heaven watches. Hell watches. But most importantly, your next choice is being watched by purpose. You cannot afford to repeat cycles birthed in confusion. You cannot afford to entertain what once felt familiar, but now drains you. You must break agreement with every lie that says you are not enough, with every fear that pretends to protect you, with every connection that only exists to limit you. Archangel Michael says, now is not the time to apologize for your calling. Now is not the moment to shrink in order to make others feel tall. Your wings have outgrown their cage, and your light, though misunderstood, is not meant to dim. You were created for disruption, not chaos, but divine disruption. A holy interruption to patterns, bloodlines, mindsets, and cycles that keep others bound. That is why you are under attack, not because you are cursed, but because you are a curse breaker. Do not be surprised when favor falls unevenly, when those around you question your elevation. Heaven promotes what earth cannot predict, and while they search for logic, God is moving by spirit. You have tried to explain your vision to those who cannot see past the natural. Stop explaining. Start obeying. There are assignments waiting for your yes. There are doors that only open when the key of obedience is turned without hesitation. This is not the hour to delay. The time has been shortened. Heaven is accelerating what was meant to unfold over years. That is why your process has felt violent. The stretching has been divine speed. The loss has been divine cleansing. And what looked like sudden separation was divine mercy. Mercy that removed what would have sabotaged you later. My child, there is a weight on your shoulders that you were never meant to carry alone. The burden of responsibility, the expectation of perfection, the echo of voices that still criticize. Your growth, release them. Not because they deserve it, but because your spirit cannot soar while shackled to shame. Forgiveness is not for their comfort. It is for your liberation. Archangel Michael says, I have been sent ahead of you to prepare the atmosphere, but you must step through. I cannot walk your obedience for you. This is your part in the divine agreement. When you move, heaven moves. When you speak, the word goes forth. When you trust, the invisible becomes tangible. But you must move first. The oil flows after the obedience, not before. Beloved one, the presence you feel right now is not a nation. It is not emotionalism. It is the nearness of God. You have been asking for confirmation, and this message is your reply. You have not been abandoned. You have not been overlooked. You are not invisible to the divine. You are seen fully, even the parts of you you've hidden, even the questions you've never voiced. They echo in the throne room, and answers are being released, not just in words, but in ways. Watch what happens in the days ahead. Things that were locked will shift. People that were distant will speak. Paths that were blocked will open. But only if you remain aligned. This moment is not emotional. It is eternal. It is a transaction between your spirit and the one who created it. If you resist it, the moment will pass. But if you surrender, it will mark you forever. You are being summoned into higher territory. But higher always costs something. Something comfortable. Something predictable. But nothing surrendered will be lost. It will be exchanged for joy, for clarity, for increased. Do not fear the next test. Do not flee the next challenge. Heaven has already gone before you. The outcome has been secured. But the process is the proving. You are not earning the victory. You are walking it out. With every step, the lie loses power. With every prayer, the darkness loses ground. With every act of obedience, the promise becomes more visible. Archangel Michael says, your life is not random. Your pain was not wasted. Your journey is not without design. The detours were not death. They were detours for your development. And now, the time has come. The scroll is unrolling. The page is turning. The chapter of delay is closing. And the next word is yours to write, with faith, with focus, with fire. Heaven is not asking you to be perfect, only present, only willing, only ready. The rest will be supplied. The strength, the strategy, the supernatural help. But it all begins with surrender. Not partial, not convenient. Full surrender. The kind that walks away when God says go. The kind that stays silent when flesh wants to respond. The kind that believes when nothing looks possible. Beloved child, the earth is groaning. The heavens are watching. And your moment is now. Choose rightly, move quickly. And know this, every force that tried to delay you has already failed. The only thing left is your yes. My beloved one, stay close. Do not allow your heart to wander now. What I am about to say was kept for this very moment, not before, not later. You are being called into a space few can enter, not because you are better, but because you have been willing. You stayed when others walked away. You believed when no sign appeared. And heaven took notice. Archangel Michael says, the gate before you is narrow. Not everyone will walk through it. Not because they were rejected, but because they refused the surrender it requires. You, child, are at the threshold of something divine. But this door does not respond to talent nor effort. It responds to obedience. Quiet, precise obedience. The kind that listens when there's only silence in return. The kind that moves even when the path looks invisible. This is the hour where distractions become dangerous. You must guard your attention. Every conversation, every offer, every voice must be tested. Not all that sounds kind is sacred. Not all that feels right is righteous. There is a trap dressed in blessing. There is a delay wrapped in comfort. And only discernment will keep you safe. You have been asking why certain things fell apart, why some hands withdrew, why certain doors never opened. Archangel Michael says, it was not rejection, it was redirection. What you thought was failure was protection. There were rooms you prayed to enter that would have poisoned your spirit. Relationships you begged to keep that would have broken your calling. I closed them not to harm you, but to preserve the oil upon your life. Beloved one, listen deeply. There is a sound from heaven that matches the rhythm of your obedience. When you move in alignment, things shift that your strength alone could never touch. You are not meant to push your way into blessing. You are meant to walk in and inherit. But inheritance requires maturity. And maturity requires trust. This is not a message for everyone. This is a divine whisper sent straight into the silence of your process. It found you because you were meant to hear it. No louder, no sooner, right now. And your next step matters more than you know. There are angelic assignments being prepared for your path, but they cannot be released where disobedience lingers. If you want what was written, you must surrender what is comfortable. If you want what is divine, you must let go of what is familiar. Heaven does not bargain. It aligns. Archangel Michael says, there is one instruction that heaven has repeated. In your spirit, quietly, consistently. You've heard it. But fear, logic, or weariness made you delay. This is your confirmation. Do not delay again. Your yes will unlock more than you imagine, and your silence will cost more than you know. Child, I know it's not easy. I know the weight you've carried. but I also know the strength hidden within you. I placed it there. I planted it in you long before you walked through the pain, long before you were betrayed. And now that seed is rising. What happens next is not up to the voices around you. It's up to your posture. Heaven is not asking for perfection, just positioning, just your yes, just your faith. Even a mustard seed will move this next mountain, but it must be released. Do not fear the shaking. Do not resist the shift. Everything that can be shaken is being shaken so that only what is divine remains. You are not being destroyed. You are being defined, not broken, but built. Beloved one, stay awake. The next instruction will come quietly, not with thunder. Listen for it. It will be small, but it will open something great. And when it comes, move. Don't ask. Don't wait for more signs. Heaven will walk with you the moment you trust. You are not sent here to wander. You are called to walk in destiny. And that destiny waits on the other side of your surrender. Beloved child, stay close to this moment. What I am about to reveal will not be easy to hear, but it will set you free. The pain you feel now is not punishment, it is preparation. There are things heaven is removing, not because they are evil, but because they are no longer aligned with where you are going. Separation is not always betrayal. Sometimes it is protection dressed as loss. Archangel Michael says, "The hour of divine revealing is upon you. That which was hidden will be shown. That which was disguised will be unmasked. The people who clapped for your surface, but cursed your spirit, will be exposed. Heaven is no longer allowing you to walk blind among those who do not carry your best interest. And yes, this will sting. But the sting is necessary to wake what has been numb for too long. There is a reason why silence has surrounded you, a reason why the laughter faded, a reason why the ones you trusted have grown distant. This is not coincidence. This is clarity. You asked for wisdom, and heaven is answering. But wisdom often arrives in the form of disconnection. When masks fall, truth speaks. And it speaks now. Do not run back to what I have removed. Do not grieve the closing of doors that led to nowhere. What you called familiar, I call finished. What you saw as comfort, I saw as a cage. Your loyalty was admirable, but now it must shift from people to purpose. Your time among them was a chapter, not the whole story. Archangel Michael says, some were sent only for a season, and that season has ended. To cling now would be to carry dead weight into divine territory. And that, beloved one, would cost you what you cannot afford to lose: your peace, your purpose, your position in heaven's plan. Let it go, not in bitterness, but in trust. For I am preparing what you cannot yet see, that there is new alignment coming. Divine partnerships, kingdom connections, people who speak your language without needing translation, those who recognize your calling without competition, those who don't need to be convinced to walk with you. They already carry the same sound in their spirit. But these cannot come while your hands are full of what I've asked you to release. This is why the discomfort has increased. This is why the room feels tighter. You are outgrowing environments that no longer reflect what heaven has placed within you. It is not arrogance, it is awakening. The old cannot hold the new, and the stretch you feel is confirmation that you are expanding. Beloved one, I see the tears you hide. I know the questions that echo in your silence. Why now? Why them? Why me? But child, the separation is not against you, it is for you. For every voice removed, I am increasing your ability to hear mine. For every table you are uninvited from, I am preparing a seat that cannot be taken. Your name is written in a place no man can erase. Archangel Michael says, do not confuse isolation with abandonment. You are not being cast away. You are being called aside, set apart, chosen, And the chosen must be purified. The chosen must be trimmed. The chosen must walk alone before they walk in influence. This is sacred. This is holy. And this is not forever. Soon, what you thought was breaking will reveal itself as birthing. What you thought was the end will unfold as the beginning. But now, in this hour, you must allow the tearing. For what is torn cannot be pretended anymore. And truth is the only foundation heaven can build upon. This is your moment to choose trust over understanding, faith over fear, surrender over struggle. I know what I am doing. I see what you cannot. And I have not led you this far to abandon you in the middle. Child, breathe deeply. Stay still. The shaking is nearly over. And on the other side, clarity awaits. Do not rush to fill the silence. Let it speak. Let it cleanse. Let it prepare you for the sound of the next instruction. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. And the place I am leading you to requires your hands, your heart, and your hope to be fully free. My beloved child, if you are still here, it is because your spirit knows what your mind cannot explain. There is a pressure building around you. That is not natural, it is spiritual. You are being pressed on every side, not because you are weak, but because something greater is trying to break through. Pressure always comes before birthing. And what is being formed within you cannot be delayed any longer. Archangel Michael says, the tension you feel is not punishment, it is alignment. You are being stretched between what you knew and what is being revealed, between who you were and who you must become, between the voices of fear and the sound of faith. The struggle is not proof of failure. It is the sign of transformation. You have felt unseen. You have felt overlooked. You have questioned your place in the plan. But heaven has not forgotten you. Heaven has hidden you. And what is hidden is being developed. What is hidden is being protected from the hands that would mishandle it. You are not ignored. You are incubated. This season was not about public applause. It was about private obedience. While others celebrated in the spotlight, you were called to stillness. While others built platforms, you were built in silence. But now, the silence is lifting. Now, the sound is changing. Something is about to shift so quickly that the pain of your preparation will make sense in an instant. Beloved one, heaven is not late. Heaven is exact. And this is your appointed moment. You have been tested in ways no one saw. You have stood in rooms that dishonored your presence. You have walked through valleys with no answers. And yet you stayed, you remained. You believed. And that belief did not go unnoticed. Archangel Michael says, breakthrough is not always loud. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, a small change, a subtle shift. But if you listen closely, you will hear the sound of chains beginning to loosen. You will feel the weight starting to lift. You will sense the atmosphere bending toward promise. Do not mistake the small for insignificant. Do not despise the whisper. It is the beginning of the roar. The doors that are opening now are not just for blessing, they are for assignment. With access comes responsibility. With favor comes fire. And with destiny comes pressure. Do not run from it. Do not pray it away. Walk through it. It is not there to break you. It is there to forge you, to purify you, to separate what cannot go forward with you. Beloved one, I know the fatigue has been great. The temptation to quit has whispered loudly. But quitting is not your portion. Surrender is not your inheritance. You are built for endurance. You are shaped for victory. And even now, heaven is reinforcing your foundation. Angels have been assigned to strengthen what was shaken. What the enemy tried to erode through delay and discouragement, heaven is restoring through revelation. You are not the same as when this began. You are not as fragile. You are not as fearful. The very warfare that tried to destroy you has produced a deeper fire, a clarity, a holy boldness that cannot be explained. And now, that fire is ready to be released, not to destroy, but to illuminate, to burn through lies, excuses, and limitations, to clear the path ahead. Archangel Michael says, your voice carries weight, not because of volume, but because of truth. What you say in this season matters. What you speak over your path, over your family, over your calling, will shape what unfolds. Speak with heaven's vocabulary. Declare what is promised, not what is feared. The realm of spirit responds to agreement, and your words are agreements. In motion. Do not delay your breakthrough with the language of doubt. Do not block the blessing with the echo of past pain. Speak life. Speak alignment. Speak as one who knows who walks beside you. For truly, you are not alone. And the evidence of that truth is about to manifest visibly. Beloved child, I know it feels heavy now. I know the cost seems high. But you are on the edge of something sacred. This pressure will not crush you. It will complete you. What is ahead is greater than what you have lost. What is coming will cause every hidden tear to bloom into joy. Hold steady. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. And your yes still matters. My beloved child, the time has come. Not a moment sooner, not a breath too late. If you are still listening, still holding on, still watching for the signs, they were never far. They were written into your journey long before you understood the path. This is your confirmation. This is your final call before release. Archangel Michael says, everything has led to this threshold. The silence, the stretching, the losses that shook your confidence, all of it was the hallway to glory. You were never losing. You were being cleared. The weight was not punishment. It was preparation. The pain was not abandonment. It was alignment. There is a gate before you now, not made of stone or iron, but of decision. Heaven will not force you through it. But if you choose, if you step, everything will shift. This is the moment where faith must be louder than fear, where obedience must move faster than hesitation, where your yes must break through the walls of delay. You've wondered why it took so long, why the breakthrough lingered, why the promise remained silent. Beloved, the delay was not denial. It was divine timing. Heaven waited for your heart to be ready, for your vision to be purified, for your strength to be made whole. You are ready now, not because you feel it, but because you endured. You passed tests you didn't even know were happening. You held. And when others gave up, you chose surrender over strategy. And now, the heavens respond, not with noise, but with access. Access to peace. Access to clarity. Access to the next assignment, wrapped in divine favor. Archangel Michael says, the final battle has already been fought. Now comes the release. But with release comes responsibility. You cannot carry bitterness into this new place. You cannot bring fear into this season of fulfillment. You must walk through with clean hands and a willing heart. Let go of what delayed you. Forgive what wounded you. Release what expired. What I have for you cannot be compared to what you lost. The joy ahead will rewrite the sorrow behind. The clarity coming will silence every question you once screamed into the night. The restoration I bring will not resemble what was stolen. It will surpass it. This is the season of swift turning, where mourning becomes dancing, where rejection becomes redirection, where the hidden ones are brought forward, not for applause, but for purpose. You were never created for performance. You were born for impact, and now impact begins. Beloved one, do not shrink. Do not silence your truth to make others comfortable. The oil on your life is not common. It is not casual. It was paid for in tears and time and quiet obedience. Heaven recognizes what others ignored. And now, heaven responds. Archangel Michael says, your next step is sacred. Do not take it lightly. Move with reverence. Speak with wisdom. Walk with discernment. The wrong voice in this moment could delay years of purpose. But the right step will unlock what generations prayed for. You are not just walking for yourself. You are walking for bloodlines, for those who come after, for those who never had the strength to say yes. The shift has already begun. You feel it. The air has changed. The weight has lifted. The way has opened. And what is waiting on the other side is not just blessing. It is assignment. It is responsibility. It is glory wrapped in grace. God, you are not forgotten. You are not unworthy. You are not behind. You are right on time. And the clock of heaven does not lie. Child, breathe. Heaven is not finished with you. The sound you hear is not chaos. It is construction. The trembling beneath your feet is not collapse. It is completion. The light you see in the distance is not a trick. It is the beginning. Now, step, move. Agree with what heaven has spoken. Say yes again. Not because you are strong, but because He is. Not because you understand, but because you trust. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is the unveiling of everything you were born to carry. And heaven rejoices at your yes.